Hello, my dear Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Cancers. This is your astrological forecast for the upcoming month of April. Let's check the most important astrological events and how they will most likely influence you this month. Well, we started with an event on the 3rd of April. We have the planet Mercury ingressing into the sign of Taurus. From your perspective, this means that Mercury goes into your 11th house, which promises quite an active in regards of communication and social gatherings and events month, because 11th house represents our community, groups of interests, clubs, friends, people with whom we surround ourselves willingly, people who share our ideas, like-minded people, and basically our tribe. And Mercury, of course, is the planet of communication, of brainstorming, of activities, of trips, short-distance travels, possibly also negotiations, discussing some deals, some contracts, if we talk about your shared business with other people. Maybe you will be very active within your group of friends or within the group of people with whom you work in a team, or maybe you're joining some NGO, some social activist group, some political movement as well. It's quite possible. The same day, on the 3rd of April, Mercury will feel quite uncomfortable, I would say, a bit intense, because it makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. So especially exactly on the 3rd of April, we should be careful not to manipulate or let others manipulate us, not to allow a group of people push us into something we don't want to participate, or somehow allure us to share some resources, time, activity with people we're not sure. Maybe on this day some secrets will be revealed. Maybe you will clearly see who are your true friends, and you might discover some people with whom you wouldn't like to continue interaction and communication. So yeah, Mercury square Pluto is an intense energy, especially regarding communication, regarding finding some solutions, planning something, because Pluto likes to exert control, power, manipulate, possibly try to hide something, but it's not a good idea. I would recommend the opposite, being extremely honest, calm, confident, and transparent, so we don't fall as victims to some secrets that later anyways can be used against us or be revealed. And also be aware of power struggles within a group of people. You might become very popular. Also, 11th house is everything we do online or offline, in front of audience. So 11th house is also our followers. And by the way, even the square between Pluto and Mercury can turn out eventually into something very lucrative, very positive, some big business, big audience, big reach for your website if you do some online business or activity. And last but not least, 11th house also talks about the income we get from our career, the rewards, the bonuses, the awards we get possibly for our mission in life, for our public reputation and activity in public. So here, maybe with Pluto, Mercury, overall, you will get some big and deserved reward by your organization, colleagues, or followers. Last but not least, 11th house actually also talks about your personal dreams, goals, long-term goals for the future. And here Mercury maybe will make you plan, strategize, prepare, analyze, research in order to achieve some big, important dream. Okay, then on the 6th of April, we have a full moon at 16 degrees of Libra. This falls into your 4th house, and you will feel it the most if your IC point is around the 16th degree of Libra. Well, this is a full moon, which brings some culmination, ending, or reaping some rewards connected to a process, idea, relationships, something that you have started during or around the last 2 new moons in the same sign, which means in the same house of your natal chart. So let me tell you the date of these last 2 new moons in Libra. This was on the 6th of October 2021 and on the 25th of September 2022. So if you remember back then, discussing something with your parents, with your family members, maybe with your roommates, something about property, about where to live, how to live, about identification documents, passport, visa, local residency card. Well, now maybe you are reaching the end, the culmination of these ideas, plans, or projects of relocation, of buying, selling property, of working with property, deciding something important with your family, about your parents. Maybe someone is going to live with the parents or moving out. Some situations like this can happen. And of course, full moons usually act as light, as projector that sheds light on some topic that maybe until now was a bit unclear. We didn't know how to act, what to do, and now you can see the situation better with this full moon. On the same day, very interestingly, on the 6th of April, Mercury, remember in your 11th house, conjuncts the North Karmic lunar node. This point, the North node, talks about the future, talks about destiny, talks about progress and development for each of us in different areas of life. And you see here, you might get very important insights or news or decisions made with your friends, with your like-minded people, with these groups to which you belong, whether it's like just a hobby or it's some professional activity that you share together. But here it can be some brilliant ideas, or you meet some very important people, or you sign maybe some papers that contracts, agreements, maybe you decide to travel together with your friends, and this will lead to some karmic destiny fated event in your life. This full moon makes an opposition to Chiron and Jupiter in the opposite sign in Aries. This is your 10th house. On one hand, you might meet important specialists, teachers, mentors who can help you making the decision either about where to work, what is your mission in life, where do you want to live, how do you want to decorate or repair your home. On the other hand, maybe this full moon will reveal some patterns of communication within your family, will reveal some traumas or pains that you carry from your childhood. Maybe this full moon will reveal much more about your personal, emotional, and inner world, connected again to childhood, to your ancestors, to your family. Maybe you'll see some, patterns that you don't want to repeat anymore, or realize that there were some programs input into your consciousness by relatives, family members that no longer serve you for your personal life in this world. So yeah, maybe there will be such kind of revelation, maybe about fear, some fears from responsibility, fears from being out there in front of many people. And this also comes from, of course, your subconscious and inner world, and possibly you'll have to face these personal issues and heal them. This full moon is important because it opens the so-called eclipse season, the first one this year. We will have 2 sets of eclipses, 2 of them in the spring and 2 of them in the autumn. Yes, of course, normally the most chaotic and fated destiny events are happening close to the date of the eclipse itself. But I believe this energy starts shifting and fated events start coming to our life to align us to our destiny and soul mission, even 2 weeks before the first eclipse. This is why this corridor or this eclipse season inaugurates this year with the full moon on the 6th of April, and we will be within this eclipse energy until the 19th of May. So a month and a half overall. Within this period, we will have 2 eclipses, one in April, one in May. General recommendations how to behave within this period is usually to try to stay calm, try to be observing and observant, try to be aware of what goes on in your life, what happens to you and with you. And yes, normally if you follow my channel, my videos, if you've been my client, my astrological consultations, you know that I do believe in combination of stellar influence on us, of this predestined experiences that we have to pass through and that we can see in our natal charts. I mean, they're really not meant by accident. The moment of birth, the place of birth, the society, the family, the time period on earth, and so on. But also I believe in the free will. So the combination of events and karmic predestined situations in life, lessons we have to pass, exams in a sense, but also we decide how to react upon them. But during eclipse seasons, my point is that let's give a way to karma to do its job, because normally eclipses are these periods of the year, and you see we have eclipses every year, whether 3, 4 of them or 6, 7. Yes, sometimes they're these extremely years like 2020 with more eclipses. Then of course we all know already what happens throughout those years, but normally those are just several weeks in which destiny has the chance to come and to show us the right way. If we have deviated slightly more from what the soul of each of us wanted to experience in this life, then most probably during eclipses we will be pushed back to the path, and we might feel some extreme cases and influences, something happening out of our control. Sometimes it's just something very minor and gentle. Well, really, this all depends how the precise eclipse triggers your precise and unique natal chart, right? This is what we also discuss on private consultations. But here, generally, I'm just warning that after the 6th of April, be aware, be observant, because maybe people you meet, news you read, ideas you have, circumstances that swing you, like if there is something happening especially significant, like your company closing or firing you, or landlord saying that this is the last month he wants to have tenants in his apartment, or you see something that does not depend on you, then say, okay, I get it, universe, that's kind of the message from you, so I have to move forward. I don't recommend in this period to act harshly, to do some sharp turns in life by your own account, like quitting a job, or just filing papers for divorce, because you see, you can do it, of course, obviously, maybe even very successfully. But then if you realize later that you did it because not from the place of peace and decisiveness, but from the place of boredom or passion or fear or pain, and then you would like to turn back time, and change things, it's going to be very hard. So let's rather be more receptive and observing of what life gives us or takes away from us around this 1.5 months, because it will be meant this way. Before I reach to the eclipse itself, on the 11th, Venus moves into Gemini, and this is your 12th house. So whatever happens in physical realm on the background, while you sleep, while you meditate, when you're alone with yourself, you will feel nice, good, cheered up, calm, because Venus is the planet of joy and pleasures. Yes, 12th house is quite the blank spot for us. Is the subconsciousness, is when we don't clearly realize what's going on, but it's like an angel helping you, and helping you mostly to think positively, to take care of yourself. Maybe you'll decide to go to some retreat with other girls, or something like yoga retreat, or spend more time in a medical facility, clinic, or just a spa place where you can pamper yourself, go to some massages. Again, spend time with yourself, with your taking care of your health, your body, and your soul in order to feel good. You might meet someone of love interest from faraway country, faraway land. It might be online because 12th house is all sort of relationships with different overseas usually cultures, and also Venus is money. So either you can spend money on travels, on visa to emigrate, or you can earn money from some online projects or some activity that is in libraries, in laboratories, a bit more isolated and secret. Maybe you are doing some scientific research and you will be getting some financial support for it. Right, and then on the 20th, here you go, the first eclipse of the year. It's a solar eclipse, which means a new energy, possibilities for something new in our lives. Besides this, it's eclipse because the luminaries are close enough to the north node. Remember this karmic point. So it's a double whammy about new beginnings in life, about, of course, something old must clear and fade away. One door has to close in order to other one to open. The eclipse happens at 29 degrees Aries, which, according to the whole sign system, which I use for this general video forecast, is your 10th house. Very significant area of life, talking about career, about work, more than work, your mission in life. What you can contribute to the society, how you're visible, your image, when you're on a stage, when you're recognized, popular, when you're a leader, when you're the provider maybe for your family. So basically that means this eclipse might bring you new work opportunities. Maybe you'll get ideas at the very least of what would you like to do in this life, what you are good at, how can you help society and also gain some respect and reward by others. Maybe you will be quitting job or starting your own business or go to a maternity leave. 10th house is also about our status. Now, for me, it usually means marrying, divorcing, changing your surname. You see things like this which change how other people perceive you. Buying property, selling property, becoming a volunteer, becoming an expat, becoming a grandparent, parent, and so on. Mind you, sometimes things develop quickly around eclipses, especially in this 1 month and a half period starting from the 6th of April, right? But sometimes also maybe some seeds are just being planted here. And then we will have about 6 months, or while the nodes are transiting this signs, Aries, Libra, for the story to unfold, right? So now again, be aware of whom you meet and what ideas you get, and later all this can manifest in your life in very interesting ways. This eclipse is positive, I think, because it conjuncts Jupiter, and Jupiter means growth, expansion, popularity, good luck, something foreign. For women, Jupiter signifies husband and children, according to ancient astrology. Also, this eclipse makes a sextile, a positive aspect to the planet of longevity, Saturn. So yes, you might need to have patience, you might need to work seriously and patiently on your projects, but then the results will be really respectful, serious and sustainable and long and lasting. What can be better in the area of your career and public reputation? We don't want some sudden luck here. We want something that, can be our legacy even for generations to come. Or it can be a child in your life, indeed, someone that comes into your life to stay for, all your life. Now, also, there will be intensity during this eclipse. I have to say this because the luminaries will make a square to Pluto. You see, this month, Pluto is quite active, participating in several astrological combinations, Well, Pluto is in your 8th house in Aquarius. If you want to check what this particularly means for you for the next 20 years, and you still have not seen my yearly forecasts for each sign, you can find them on my channel. Particularly for you, you can find the Cancer 2023 video, is more than 1 hour long, and you will hear there everything about Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius. Because it's a very important and interesting transit, Pluto in the house of Scorpio normally, classically, and in this case 10th 8th house. What this could mean for you, Cancer? Well, some sort of indeed news about pregnancy, about new life coming into your life, or on the other hand, maybe about someone, going into another dimension, passing away, leaving you some inheritance. 8 houses, oftentimes money we get from others, whether as inheritance, it might be sponsorship, a scholarship, or support for your business project, for you going independent. Maybe it will be finding clients who want to hire you to pay you for consultations, especially if you work with therapy, psychology, emergency situations, finances, taxes, insurances. Maybe you would like to make some important insurance in your life. But mostly I see it as some kind of business investments, maybe taking loans, taking a mortgage because you want to buy a property. You see your status changes, maybe your family expands and grows, and you want to buy something abroad, so you need this money. But be careful, because remember, when there is a square with Pluto, there is some intensity, power struggles. There is a danger to fall in a trap of someone who later will control you and manipulate you. So just my observation here is to be careful if you take a loan or take someone's money or invest in a shared business, in a shared venture, then think good if later you won't regret that you bind yourself to this person, institution, bank, and so on, On the other hand, maybe you will be interested in politics, maybe you really will go to study psychology, for instance, or you go on a maternity leave, right? Because there is pregnancy, expecting a baby. Maybe there will be some revelations about your partners, business partners, or personal relationship with a person whom you normally trust and share and so on. So maybe there will be engagement for some of you. For others, of course, it might be also a divorce. Yeah, through 8th house, some money can come after a split of property, divorce, alimony for children, and so on. But I hope in any case you will just feel happiness and liberation, whatever new things come into your life, whether as beginnings or endings. For you, it must feel like empowerment with Pluto, right? Finding your own psychological kind of spine, your own inner core power, and fearfulness. Also, it can be a really huge success. Pluto is the planet of big business, big money, big audience, public. Jupiter is about grandiosity as well. 10th house is about career success. So really, Cancer, go for it. Wow. On the same day, just a couple of hours later, the sun moves into Taurus, joining their Mercury, illuminating your 11th house of gains from your career, of recognitions, awards, of public activity, volunteering, social causes, big groups of people. Friends, and your dreams. Maybe your wish and dream comes true now, but you might need to reconsider some details, maybe do some course correction towards your long-term goal and dream, because Mercury will go retrograde here from the 21st of April till the 14th of May. Mercury moves backwards through your area of social life, group activities, group projects, like-minded people, audience, online projects, big systems if you work in some international company or financial market, something like this, or online campaigns you're doing. So Mercury retrograde might bring some delay, but it's never in vain, right? Nothing happens in vain. That's why we discussed here this astrological forecast with possibilities of what they might mean for each of us, in order to be forewarned, forearmed, right, and prepared. So be prepared that indeed the 20th is the eclipse, the 21st Mercury stationed to go retrograde, so it's like not moving forward, not backwards, it's a bit stuck, and it's the planet of the mind and communication. On the same day it conjuncts Uranus, the planet of technology, friendships, surprises and shocks. So here we have to be really patient, really aware that we might have this mental intensity, desire to burst in words, to write some crazy emails. You know, be careful on the road on this day, because Mercury is also vehicles and Uranus is very unexpected situations. If you're traveling, don't worry, just to make sure that all the papers, documents are with you. You have plenty of time, no stress, no rush, you know, because those 3 days, 20th, 21st, 22nd, might be quite intense and confused regarding mercurial topics. Communication, ideas, negotiations, contracts I would not sign here, and travels. Business deals as well, you know. At the same time, look, this conjunction with Uranus might bring some insights, some aha moments, some unexpected friendships, some new, original, quirky people coming into your life, some tech-savvy people, people from some startups, IT specialists who can build you a website, who can, you know, offer you some solutions. But don't worry, you'll have time to think about it, right? At the very least until the 14th of May, when Mercury will turn direct. But guess what? Then he will still go through the same degrees, third time. Already on the 31st of May, Mercury goes out of this trail, you know, this retrograde shadow period, as we say, those degrees of Taurus from 5th to 15th, that this time he passes 3 times. So time to do a revision, to meet old friends, maybe to finish some old group projects, to rethink your participation in those, to replan your life goal and mission, and to finally get awarded, even if with some delay, for your work. Maybe you go on pension, on maternity leave, maybe you get several salaries at once if your company closes down or something like this. Use this time to prepare for further projects in your life. Okay, dear Cancer, so I wish you a wonderful April. Enjoy it. May it bring you positive events. Stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, dear Leos. This is your monthly astrological forecast for the upcoming month of April. Let's check the most important astro events for this month for you, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon Leos. We start the month on the 3rd of April when Mercury moves into Taurus. Interesting and important transit for you, because according to the whole sign system, Taurus is your 10th house. Mercury is the planet of activity, negotiations, deals, paperwork, communication, meeting with people, social engagements, you know, and activities. So this is cool when this all happens in the area of work, of career, of mission in life. So it depends on what is your profession, especially if it's a mercurial profession: writing, speaking, internet, technologies, gadgets, something online, something with logistics, business, buying, selling, offering something, advertisement, you know, then you will be very busy and very active. But even otherwise, you can just negotiate a better salary, a rise of position, even if it's quitting or anything like that. You will be seen by others, because 10th house is our image, as someone very skilled with hands, very skilled with languages. sharp-minded, very sociable, and hopefully convincing. Now, I must warn you that the 3rd of April itself, this day, is a bit more intense because Mercury ingressing into Taurus makes a square to Pluto in Aquarius. By the way, if you want to know what Pluto in Aquarius means for you, it's very significant transit really, because it's opposite Leo, right? And you still have not seen my yearly video forecasts, which are very long videos, more than 1 hour long for each zodiac sign, then be my guest, find in my playlist the video called Leo 2023, and you will hear there everything about Saturn, Pluto, the karmic nodes, transits this year. But in this case, just the 3rd might be a day in which people will be prone more to use aggressive methods of convincing others or manipulative methods, or you might feel some power struggles at work or with some superior personnel, your boss, someone representative of the state, of authorities, even with your own parent, possibly your father. There might be some verbal clashes, like someone will try to dominate others. I wouldn't say it's the best day to sign contracts, for instance, because even though Pluto is in your 7th house of relationships, negotiations, contracts, deals, but it's an intense aspect here. So it means that you might fall under dependency in a sense, feel later dependent on the institution or people with whom you sign something important, you know, feel kind of manipulated by them, or they can dictate you what to do, right? On the other hand, you see, every aspect can also have a positive manifestation if we manage to kind of navigate. That's why forewarned, forearmed. That's why are those forecasts for you to be aware that yes, there might be a moment of power struggle with someone superior or with your partner, related status and work and public image. Maybe your spouse is against you moving job because it will mean move, relocate, for instance, right? Maybe your spouse is against, or your clients will miss you because you are going on a business trip and you will miss an important a business deal, you know, something like this. But at the very end, it might come to a very powerful, lucrative deal, meeting someone very, you know, powerful person, like for a client or a consultant, advisor. It might be someone in politics, in the banking system, in the financial system, psychologist as well. Maybe there will be a revelation, because usually with Mercury square Pluto, secrets come onto the surface. And that's why it's advisable around this date to be very transparent, to be very honest with yourself, with your close people, partners, clients, and others, especially because Mercury is up there in the 10th house of reputation. So yeah, it's better not to create some lies or secrets for which all the time then you will be worried. There you go, you will fall under their dominion in a sense, right? Pressure. And then eventually Pluto, who digs first the grave for the skeletons and tries to cover them, then Pluto himself is the digger who uncovers the unpleasant truth. So it's better with him to be, as I said, transparent and honest. But in this case, maybe some revelations regarding work, parent, partner. Maybe you meet your chosen one with your parents and there is initially like a bit of a tension there, or you decide indeed like there was a romance at work and now you decide to go public, for instance, in front of your colleagues. Yeah, possibilities are variety, but also there is a chance that you can have some very influential person to negotiate about your future status. So maybe it's even an engagement, you see, or a divorce also could be. Changing surname, changing ID, passports, and so on. Okay, then on the 6th of April, we have a full moon at 16 degrees of Libra. For you, this is your 3rd house. Now, this is a mercurial area, and full moons usually are some news, revelations, culminations about your close immediate environment, neighbors, relatives, your neighborhood. Maybe you're moving home, maybe you're going to a next neighborhood or city, maybe you're buying or selling a vehicle, you have possibly some news from your siblings as well. Maybe there is some clarity about their issues. Also, third house and full moon here can bring culmination in your small business, in your online activity, blogging, writing, trading. You might get the results of your promotion, PR, marketing campaign right now. You see, full moons tend to bring culminations of processes that we possibly have started during a new moon in the same sign, in the same area of your natal chart. I usually tend to look at the last new moon in this place and also pre-last one, so 6 months ago and 1 year and a half ago. Let me tell you the dates here. The last two new moons in Libra happened on 6th of October 2021 and then on 25th of September 2022. So maybe back then you started building your website, or you met some new people, you subscribed to a course, you started learning a language, or going for, driving license, or choosing a vehicle, discussing some relocation, discussing some paperwork, starting looking for some documents from your family, for example. You met new neighbors, or you decided that you want to relocate somewhere, and here it comes to a fruition, this process, maybe. You see also this full moon is opposite Chiron and Jupiter in your 9th house. So the axis of traveling is heightened here, highlighted, and also Jupiter is the planet of higher knowledge, of travels, of communication with foreigners, of legal procedures and court cases. So maybe this is also what is going on here for you. And Jupiter involved means victory, means good luck, means possibly even meeting someone special from abroad, or starting a business online with foreign clients, for example, trading, international trade. Chiron is here too, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So maybe Chiron brings you important teachers, mentors, trainers, guides. Also, Chiron can illuminate some more psychological issue, in this case about, do I know enough? Can I trust my mind? Maybe you should think more positively and broaden your horizon and perspective and, expectations. Sky is the limit with Jupiter in 9th house here. Chiron might ask you to deal with some internal traumas related to fear of flying or, driving, to fear of being on a public stage, to fear of sharing your knowledge, ideas, opinion. Maybe with 9th house and 3rd house here in the full moon, bringing a celebration, a culmination. Maybe you're a speaker on some conference, for example. You're an expert, you, let's say, are a teacher, a professor, maybe you publish something, and here you have to just deal with some internal intellectual or linguistic insecurities about self-expression, basically. On the same day, look at this, another interesting event. On the 6th of April, Mercury, remember, in your 10th house, conjunct the North Karmic lunar node. The North node is the point that talks about destiny, about fate, about future progress. It's like a shuttle that can launch us into the future through, and here I would say, through Mercury, through some friends, through news, through knowledge, through your own skills that you can show now to the world. 10th house is also very public area. Maybe you are indeed speaking on a conference or as a tourist guide, and in front of young generation. Yeah, the North Node is something exotic. Maybe you are the first person of your own natal language that translates a book or participates in this conference, so something very exciting, I think, as at least as ideas, propositions, deals, offers, people. is coming to your area of career and mission in life overall. Maybe you decide to learn a new language, you see, or you travel far away to some language course, for example. This full moon also opens the so-called eclipse season. This year we will have 4 eclipses, 2 sets of them, 2 in the spring, 2 in the autumn. One eclipse will be in April. I will talk about it shortly. Second one in May. But for me, all this turmoil of energy, all these fated events, they can start happening already 2 weeks before the first eclipse. Then, of course, the heat of the season is in between these 2 eclipses. And then finally, the energy slows down and we can exhale already 2 weeks after the second eclipse. So my point is that be aware of things going on in your life between the 6th of April and the 19th of May, 1 month and a half. What do I mean by being aware? You see, maybe you already know through my videos, if you have been my client on consultation, that I am not a fatalistic astrologer. I believe that this knowledge is given to us to read it and to interpret it, to do something with it, with our personal will. Yes, there are all these transits that we discuss here, because forewarned, forearmed, right? Also, we have the natal charts, which show us, they're literally the key, the explanation of this soul contract that my soul, each of us soul, made before incarnating on this planet, on this society, this age, this family, these parents. Specifically, that's why it was born on this day, hour, minute, right, with the sky arranged in a very particular way for each of us. But at the same time, we have the free will, how we react on events in our life, from which point of view we see them, what can we do with the challenges we meet in life, right? Do we learn from the first time, or we need 5 more same situations to learn? And I must say that throughout eclipse season, it's more about destiny upper hand, okay? Normally, yes, we can decide what to do, and oftentimes we deviate from this soul path mission, which also we can read in the natal chart through some extent. And if we have deviated too much, then there you go. Each year we have eclipses, maybe from 3, 4 to 6, 7. Yes, of course, the years with more eclipses are more intense, so to say, like it was 2020, remember, for each of us, and collectively, obviously, too. But my point is normal to have eclipses. It's normal from now and then life to be more proactively guiding us to the right path. Sometimes through, karma is not to punish us. Karma is just the law of cause and effect. So oftentimes with eclipses, we see just the effects of our own decisions and actions. Sometimes, yes, eclipses finally push us into something new that we were desperately avoiding because we would like to be stuck and in the comfort zone and so on. But anyways, I went a bit more theorizing, philosophizing a bit more. What I wanted to say is, around eclipses, be aware, be calm, be patient. Don't rush into doing some sudden decisions like quitting job, filing paper for divorce, relocation immediately, right now. You can do it successfully, I can tell you for sure, but later, if you realize that you were acting spontaneously, emotionally, based on fear, based on worries, based on rebelliousness, I don't know, based on anger, trauma, pain, then probably it's not the best launching point, the trampoline from which to do the quantum leap. On the other hand, if your company fires you, if your spouse files the, puts papers for divorce, if your children are like, ta-da, we're moving out of home, we go to study to Australia or something like this, well, then you see, then this is something that is a bit out of your control, right? Of course, your reaction is within your control, but here I advise kind of be more humble in a sense and accept that around eclipses, karmic events happen. They have meant to be. So it happens the way it must happen for me to evolve and to grow, okay? So this is just month and a half now. This year, later will be another 1 month and a half in the autumn. I'll come to the eclipse in April, but first let me tell you that Venus moves into Gemini on the 11th of April, and for you, she will be passing this way through your 11th house, which is the house of group activities, maybe going to some dancing lessons, library or reading club, going to touristic adventures with other people who are interested in the same culture as you do. Your colleagues are 11th house, especially if you work in a international, multinational corporation. Those are your viewers online, your students, or your classmates. And Venus is the planet of love. So someone who was only friend until the moment can become something more, like a lover, for example, or you can start a relationship with someone from a group. Also, you will receive the love of this group, the support, you'll find nice friendships, especially maybe with women. There will be a pleasure, a joy to experience something together with a group of like-minded people. You will earn money as well from your participation as a teacher, guide, mentor, journalist, blogger. Maybe you'll promote something or sell something. If you work online, if you work even like in a volunteer, socially engaged organizations, political, non-political as well. Here, Venus can bring you success, friends, important connections, income. 11th house is also the house of your gains from career, from work. So clearly you can receive rewards, recognitions, awards for your professional merits. And also 11th house is your personal hopes, dreams, and wishes. And I hope Venus here throughout this 1 month in your 11th house will reward you with some dream fulfilled, come to reality, a dream come true. Then on the 20th of April, we have this solar eclipse, the first eclipse for the year. Since it's a solar eclipse, it means it's a very powerful new moon. Yes, we have the new moon, which is already indicator for new beginnings. And it's an eclipse because it is located near the North Node, the karmic lunar node. And North Node, already talks also about the future, the development, the progress. And it happens at 29 degrees of Aries, which is your 9th house. Well, some new relationship with foreigners, joining international company, establishing a business across 2 countries or continents, start learning language, going back to school, to university, getting a degree, maybe a court case as well starts in your life, maybe a travel adventure. This eclipse can completely change your worldview, your aspiration in life. Basically, what's the meaning of life? You can ask yourself from more philosophical perspective and start aiming to what you discover as your new truth. 9th house, eclipse in a 9th house can shake your foundations of faith, of belief system, of moral code, of philosophy, life philosophy. You might meet some guru, some teacher, some philosophical system that can transform and change your life, maybe throughout your journeys or by just reading, or in school. This eclipse conjuncts Jupiter, who classically rules the 9th house of education and travels, of relationship with authorities, juridical cases, legal cases, as well, paperwork, documents, passports, residences, and so on. But also here, Jupiter can bring luck, expansion, adventures. Maybe you become this expert guru, shine out there in some conferences, seminars, publish something, show your skills to the world, and people start coming to you as to to a celebrity, to a teacher, you might gain popularity. Whatever you do with this eclipse, and again, remember, the event might happen around the date of the eclipse, 2 weeks before, even like 4 weeks after, or maybe some seeds will be planted just here now. Yeah, it's a new moon, so let's give it as well, like up to 6 months to grow, to develop. So again, just be observant, be patient, cautious about news, about ideas, people around you, because there might be a start of some wonderful story for you. And this story will be long lasting, will be very serious, might bring very good results with which you will be proud, and they will be like really sustainable in a sense. But you have to be persistent and patient, because the eclipse makes a sextile, which is a positive aspect, to the planet of longevity, Saturn. Also, there will be tension. I have to mention it because the eclipse makes a square to Pluto. Remember, just as like with Mercury at the beginning of the month, a square, of course, means intense Plutonian energies like power struggles, conflicts, manipulations, someone trying to impose their willpower on you. But the point is for you to, at the end, come out of this period stronger, more fearless, not ruthless, but self-assured, like trusting yourself, ambitious, successful, popular. Pluto is also the planet of big things, like big audience, big popularity, big success, big politics, big influence, big money, yeah, bank, business, and so on. So again, with ninth house, it can be anything, like it can be international business. Pluto is in your 7th house, right? So with some clients from abroad, clients who are foreigners, clients who are politicians, teachers, for instance, you become an advisor, consultant of students, let's say, you become a teacher. Maybe your partner is trying to control you to not let you travel, or your partner is inviting you to go abroad, right? And it might be something first like a bit crunchy and difficult. If we talk about court cases, Pluto might signify a powerful, but at least open enemy, right? Because also the negative aspect of Pluto is to hide things, to freeze them for a while being, let them simmer somewhere in the corner while we don't want to deal with them. But then he himself is the one who just makes everything boil and explode. So we better not reach the explosion point here, and be very honest and transparent with our decision, desire to study. Maybe you want to study psychology, finances, some platonic topics. Again, it might be for some of you marriages, divorces, establishing legally a company, and so on. I think relationships with foreigners, very powerful foreigners possibly, or institutions and organizations. Maybe you hire a lawyer who will be very like Plutonian lawyer, very poker face one, but very ruthless. Okay, on the same day, just a couple of hours after this morning eclipse, the sun goes into Taurus, joining there the crowd, the bunch, Mercury, right, and so on, and illuminating the area of your career. Sun is your ruler, my dear Leos. So not only that 1 month the sun will be in Taurus, which means you become grounded, patient, hedonistic. That's kind of nice. Take care of yourself and of your 5 senses, pleasures, and basically spoil yourself. You can become also very stubborn like a Taurus. But also your attention will be towards your status, your public image, your reputation, and you will be shining. Come on, like Leo, like you can do it, definitely. Yeah, the sun will be here in Leo, in Taurus till the 21st of May. Okay, then on the 21st of April, Mercury stations to go retrograde. Now, seriously, 20th, 21st, give it also 22nd of April, are not the best days to sign contracts, to do something in a rush, to say something impulsively, because not only Mercury, the planet of mind, communication, technology, post and emails, is stopped, like, stuck for a while, I mean, for a day, but also it conjuncts Uranus, the planet of surprises, the planet of revolution, of being quirky, of being eccentric, so you can, and mind you, it's your 10th house, the most popular and visible area of your natal chart. So be wise, be smart, be wise. Yes, you might get some super important and life-changing insights, ideas, like facts from the universe. Uranus is the planet of the space and astrology. You might get a consultation with an astrologer with some important information for yourself. You might realize something about job. Someone might tell you something like, and it can be the inception of idea for you. But also these days will be quite confused, chaotic. There might be a lot of misunderstandings. Please be careful on the road. We all should. Yeah, because your Mercury is vehicles and Uranus is like lightning or technical problems and so on. Don't do the, how to say, don't do the revolution and rebellion. Just think about, you can think about it. And then you see Mercury stops and turns retrograde at 15-degree Taurus, moving backwards until the 14th of May, when he will stop to turn direct at 5 degrees Taurus. So if your point of career and status, called MC, is between 5th and 15th degree Taurus, and even more importantly, if it is on the 5th or 15th degree, then you will feel this Mercury retrogradation more than someone else. If your MC is around the 15th degree, you will feel it at the end of April, around the 21st, okay? So as I said, important news, yes, maybe interesting, unusual offers, okay, but then retrograde, so then you have time to think, time to research, time to prepare. Don't rush. You can perform interviews, you can remind yourself about some old professional skills. Maybe you will once again take some job you've done already before in the past. Yeah, retrograde means like do something again, once again, repeat. But also it might mean delays. So if you're waiting for a decision of some employer about a position professionally, maybe there will be some period of waiting, of negotiation for the contract. You don't have to sign anything from the first offer. Yeah, give yourself time to research, to think, maybe to, as I'm saying, to finish something. Maybe you'll meet some already familiar to you people in the business, old bosses, old authority figures. You can review, revisit, renew. Yes, again, you can renew some work. Maybe you're coming back from maternity leave, for example. Yeah, by the way, Mercury is in the shadow of its retrogradation, so which means he will 3 times cross the same trial on the sky. From the 7th of April, when he for the first time enters into 5th degree Taurus, till the 31st of May, when he will finally exit the 15th degree of Taurus and continue 16, 17, and so on, but new territory, right? So yeah, maybe even these new offers will start coming to you from the beginning of the month, really, around the 7th, yeah? But then there will be time to change your mind again, then change your mind again, fix something, and finally agree or disagree, move, change, travel, teach, guide, and so on. Wow, dear Leo soul, this is how April looks like for you. I wish it to be for you fantastic, positive month of a lot of opportunities and interesting ideas, insights, and important meetings. So yeah, grab the chances, be wise, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my dear Virgos. This is your astrological forecast for the upcoming month of April. We will discuss the most important events this month for you, rising sign, Sun and Moon Virgos. Okay, let's see. On the 3rd of April, your ruler Mercury changes sign. He goes into Taurus. That's your 9th house. But if until this moment, the last 1 month, you felt more scattered, very chatty, very adaptable and flexible like you usually are, but here till 11th of June, you might feel more like a Taurus, which means, let's say, a bit more calm down, grounded, not rushing for sure, slow, even we can say, easygoing, hedonistic. It's time to pamper yourself, to experience some physical, sensual pleasures, of the 5 senses. Also, Taurus is your 9th house, as I just said. So Mercury, the planet of communication, of travels, of documents, is entering in the sign of faraway travels, people from abroad, languages, different cultures, higher knowledge, philosophy, court cases as well. So Mercury might bring here agitation, either you're learning language or you're preparing for an exam, or you make some business trips or some scholar projects, or student internship projects, meeting some teachers, gurus, inspirational figures, giving a speech, being a host or a guest in some seminar, in some, gala dinner or something like, important event where you can become famous and popular. Now, the 3rd of April itself is a bit of a tough day because your planet squares Pluto. Pluto in Aquarius in your 6th house. So on the 3rd, you might feel pressured. On the 3rd, you might feel that someone is manipulating you, that someone is trying to impose their will on you, whether it's from work, whether it's by authorities, whether it's, because you forgot or lost your documents. So be very careful if you're traveling. Maybe it's enemies, they launch a court case against you or something like that, so you'll have to also fight back or establish your boundaries, not use yourself any dark schemes of manipulation, because you might be on the stage, you might have the chance to address people. By the way, with Mercury squaring Pluto, yes, the negative side can be verbal abuse and manipulation. Secrets can come out on the surface, and that's why, like, normally I think the recommendation for each of us for the whole life is to be as much as we can honest and transparent. But especially when there is Pluto involved with your ruler, it is double this advice, right? Especially if you are on an exam or work trip, or you travel because of, let's say, some health issues, or you do some examinations, you meet doctors, professors, teachers, then or the crowd, your followers, your students. I mean, yeah, truly, you can be very magnetic and very empowering people with your words, with what you write, with what you publish. Maybe you're a journalist and you can come to some great discovery of your investigation, for instance. That's amazing, really, but you have to be honest and transparent, right? Because if you try to hide something, create a secret, then again, sooner or later, Mercury will be active, Pluto will be active, and then the same planet who was ashamed of something and preferred to bury the truth will make the truth explode in our faces. So forewarned, forearmed, you see, with Mercury Pluto square on the 3rd. At the same time, it can be a powerful combination for exactly you attracting a powerful supporters crowd to you, or meet some influential figure that can turn your world upside down, your religious views, your philosophy, your beliefs. But be careful for this person not to be someone fake or just seeking their own, success, not being honest, being fake or part of a secta or something like this. On the 6th, on the 6th of April, we have a full moon at 16 degrees Libra. Well, this is a culmination in your second house. The full moon illuminates the matters of money for you, your budget, incomes, spendings. Maybe you'll finally find something that you wanted to buy for a long time, and do the purchase. Maybe you'll sell something. Maybe you'll finally get a salary or commission for your services or goods. Finally, you will finish some work project. Finally, you'll see also the second house, see the result of your diet, because it's about nurturing and feeding our bodies. You will decide to make a spring cleaning and get rid of, furniture or old clothes. Yeah, it's second house, what we store our possessions, and we don't want cluttered energy in our life. It's also about your self-esteem. So hopefully with full moon in your second house, you will realize how great and amazing you are, how skilled you are, how valuable worker you are, and that you deserve recognition for your talents and efforts. So you might want for, pay raise. And also, second house, our talents, our resources. Maybe you'll see what's the most important resource for you, your health, your time with your family, your freedom, your professionalism, and so on. Really, for each person is different. Let me tell you the dates of the last 2 new moons in Libra. So you can see in your personal history, maybe open up your new moon diary and see if during those dates you were writing down some special wishes regarding to money, finances, work, self-esteem, body, and so on. That now possibly it's manifesting 6 months later or 1.5 years later. So the dates of the new moons in Libra are 6th of October 2021 and 25th of September 2022. Something have started back then. You started it, or it just appeared as an idea or up there in the air, or maybe it was a plan, a strategy, and now it comes to fruition and culmination. Hopefully you're reaping very sweet fruits, very sweet rewards for your efforts and work. On the same day, there is something amazing going on with your ruler Mercury. On the 6th of April, he conjuncts the North Karmic Lunar Node. The North Node that talks about destiny, fate, the future, progress. It's like this shuttle that take us to the future. It's like a quantum leap. So of course, with your ruler, you might experience, you can have some very powerful revelation, insight. You can hear some important for you news. You can meet someone important, and still it's in your 9th house. So we still are talking about traveling, education, knowledge, moral code, faith, fame, popular people in your life, or you being the expert, politics, possibly you're involved in politics, in education, in court system. Maybe you start teaching, guiding. What else it can be? Traveling to some completely new place with younger people, opening a website. Someone very technical is coming to help you, assist you, new technologies, new ideas, new vehicle, of course, could be. But back to the full moon, it actually makes an opposition to Chiron and Jupiter in the opposite sign of Aries, which is for you your 8th house. So Jupiter participating in a lunation is great because he gives this good luck as well, expansion, something again related to foreign help. And because he's in the 8th house, maybe actually you will receive financial support by organizations, institutions, universities in the shape and form of scholarships, sponsorship for your business, investments, joint investments, payoff. It's a full moon, so you have invested into something. Now it's time to decide whether it's profitable or maybe not. Maybe you're getting some alimony or even inheritance. But also Chiron is here, which means Chiron is the wounded healer, and maybe one of the points of this full moon is to illuminate some insecurities of yours, whether it's regarding money, earning, your own self-love and self-esteem, some old issues, pain, trauma. Maybe it's related to family, teenage years, personal relationships, impossibility to trust others, because it's in the 8th house of intimate relationships as well. Maybe we talk about here you deciding that you want to establish some connection with a special person from abroad, but you're afraid. So here you will have to a bit deal with your inner fears, let's say, related either to money, work, business, or trust someone special. Maybe it's a fear of poverty, or it's family patterns talking that business is bad, it's something dirty, and so on. So you'll have to realize, first of all, if you have such internal programs in you that you have to address and change in order to get success. Also, this full moon, let's say, opens the season of eclipses, the spring season of eclipses, because this year we will have 4 eclipses into 2 sets, 2 of them this spring, 2 of them this autumn. I am usually warning people in my forecasts about 2 weeks before the first eclipse, because already some karmic events might start happening in your life. You already have to be calm, act wisely, smartly, be aware of what's going on with you and around you, people you meet, messages you get, ideas crossing your mind, write them down. Anything that happens to you that it's out of your control is actually for the best, and it's meant to happen. Look, not everyone feels any eclipse in the same intensity. We would go crazy because every year we have like from 3 to 7 eclipses. It's crazy. And yes, of course, the years with the 6-7 eclipses are particularly unstable, let's say, and dramatic, like it was 2020 with 6 eclipses. But on the other hand, it depends how this eclipse triggers your own natal chart, right? Which of course you can see yourself or discuss it with an astrologer. And also it depends, are you like more or less walking on the path which your soul chose for it to experience in this lifetime, or you deviated a bit? If you deviated a bit, then around eclipses, you see 2 weeks before the first one, in between the 2 eclipses, and 2 weeks after even the second one, destiny steps in. Karma, karma is usually the process of cause and effect. So basically, it's not about just randomly punishment or something like this, or the games from the universe, but it's all about following some logical things in life, or even, of course, something we don't know from past lives, for instance. But around eclipses, even if people divorce, relocate, change jobs, but if it's brought to you from outside, then it's kind of course correction for your soul, according to what the soul wants to experience, which we can suggest by reading astrological natal charts. I believe that the souls choose where to be born, when to be born, which family, which city, which society, and especially the hour, the minute of birth marks all this energetical project for the soul, Well, in any case, that's why eclipses are seen as a bit of a turbulent times. It's not recommendable to start doing your own projects, not in everything, mostly like if you notice that you're acting because you're nervous, because there's big passion about something suddenly, because you're impulsive, you are tired, or you're angry, you know, or there is fear, so you run away because of fear, or you're stuck because of fear, you know, then it's not the best time to launch yourself suddenly, sharply, like going for a divorce, quitting job or something. But if the company fires you, let's say, or if you get the news about someone like cheating on you or divorcing you, well, okay, so you see it was going on for a year, for example, now, and you know it, okay, so you know how to act and react, and here comes your free will, because many people blame astrology that it's not about intelligent free will decisions, but I think it's quite a lot about it. Forewarned, forearmed, right? And whatever happens, like the weather, it's up to you whether you will go into the storm or repair your house or move away, you know, the storm is coming, for instance, or the heat or whatever. So yeah, there are influences from the sky, stellar influences. You can either use them wisely and get the best benefit out of them, or just, you know, like break your head and fighting them in not appropriate times, for instance. Yeah. So yeah, eclipses, and especially in this case, the season of spring eclipses 2023 from 6th of April till the 19th of May is the time of karmic events. Maybe they happen, maybe they just are implied by some ideas, news, meetings, but that's why my advice is to notice those, because later, you know, as with any lunation, we need time for the seeds to be planted and to grow and to eventually give results and fruits, right? So maybe 6 months later you will see the real changes happening in your life. Now I will reach to this first eclipse in April, but first let me tell you that on the 11th of April Venus goes into Gemini, and this is your 10th house. How lovely. Venus will be here till the 7th of May. She brings pleasure, friendships, important connections, decisions, charm to you at your workplace, in a career. But also 10th house is your status, your reputation. With Venus in the 10th house, sometimes people can get engaged, marry, acquire a property, receive bigger salary. You can charmingly convince people around you about your point of view. Yeah, if you are a celebrity or on a public display, then this month your beauty, diplomatic skills are enhanced. You can meet love at work as well, or your love might come as someone's superior, you know, the representative of the state, someone older, for instance, with more status and experience. Right, and then on the 20th of April, we have the solar eclipse at 29 degrees Aries. You see solar eclipse, which means it is a new moon on steroids, very powerful new moon, very powerful new beginnings, because it happens next to the North Node, Rahu, the one who catapults us into the progress and future. Now, according to the whole sign system, which I use for these videos because they're generalized, but in my private consultations, I work with Placidus. But according to the whole sign, it's your 8th house. So let's see what possibilities we have with eclipse in the 8th house. Wow, well, pregnancy for some of you. Going into your emotional, internal, subconscious world, of course, hopefully with the help of a professional therapist, psychologist, astrologer, tarologist, I mean, someone who practices psychological astrology or tarot, to help you see yourself better from within, help you dig out this inner self-sabotaging demons, you know, this passion or fears, traumas, grudges that you're dragging, this emotional baggage, right? Face it, admit it, accept it, cry about it, letting go, you know, let it go. Because recently I talked, I don't know where I heard it, but the hardest thing in life is to let go of our own traumas, really. They become such a part of our psyche, and we speak consciously that we don't want to have those phobias or fears or jealousy, and so on, or aggressive behavior, but it's just comfortable because it's becoming integral part of us. But with 8th house and eclipse in the 8th house, you have to experience some positive inner transformation. Well, maybe it will be about some kind of intervention, operation, maybe plastic surgery, maybe change of style, maybe, again, I'm saying pregnancy, as this is the huge transformation, especially for a woman, but for the whole family too. Maybe there will be someone departing and leaving you even an inheritance. 8th house is the house of joint finances, shared resources, so business partners, maybe like a spouse as well, and you start sharing household or budget, buy some property together or establish a business together. Yes, addressing again, I'm going back to the psychological part, the matters of trusting yourself, trusting people, fear of intimacy, and so on must be addressed here. Investments, you might decide to do some very important investment into property, for example, dealing with banks, dealing with financial institutions, collecting if someone owes you something, paying off taxes, opening a business, maybe with some sponsors initially, having clients. Maybe you start studying psychology, finances, esoterics, to be a 8th house person, worker with 8th house matters, work in a bank or in crisis situations or with psychology. I like that this eclipse conjuncts Jupiter, which means there will be good luck as well, good luck, and there will be possibilities to grow, to expand, to liberate, to become wiser, to change your worldview, moral code, belief system, faith. Faith will help you. In the 8th house, if you start a business or you do some investments, fantastic. Jupiter will grow all of this. Jupiter represents children and spouse in ancient astrology. Also, we have here a sextile, a positive aspect by the planet of longevity, Saturn. So it means that, you might need to work diligently, patiently, constantly. You might need to be patient, but then the results will be really long-term and very serious, very tangible, sustainable. Again, it might be a child, right? Because it means that then it's kind of your duty and responsibility forever and ever. But also if it's a business partnership. Now, I must say the truth, there is a very intense aspect as well with this eclipse. It's a square to Pluto. You see, Pluto is active this month from your 6th house, from Aquarius. If you still haven't seen my big yearly forecast videos, you can find them on my channel, particularly for you, the Virgo 2023. It's more than 1 hour long videos where I discuss what does it mean that this 20 years transit of Pluto through Aquarius, or the 3 years transit of Saturn through Pisces for you, and so on. Okay, but here the square of Pluto in your 6th house to the eclipse in your 8th. Well, you have to be thoughtful about your health, and Pluto anyways wants you to reconsider your habits, your diet, your lifestyle, all these small daily pieces that make your day and your night. Here Pluto is purging some bad habits, some unhealthy habits, and maybe this will be part of your internal transformation. Maybe there will be a need to, operation, like remove something unhealthy from your body, but you can do it also by, I'm saying, really like changing your lifestyle, maybe choosing vegetarian lifestyle or vegan or something like this significant, quitting smoking. Maybe you will prefer this plastic surgery, some of you. The baby also, if you have the child baby, it will change your routine, right? Your regime, your schedule. If you start a business, it will also, or studies, psychology, finances, it will change your routine as well a lot. Hopefully even this square, even the square can bring at the end of the day something powerful and positive. So here I think powerful healing can happen, physical, psychological. Maybe Pluto will ring the bell about some chronic issues regarding health, and with the eclipse in the 8th house, you will clearly understand it is linked to your emotional world, to your subconscious, to your psychosomatics, right? So healing the body and the soul at the same time. Or you will get some financial support for, let's say, your office, your work, to hire more employees and so on. On the same day, just a couple of hours after the eclipse, the sun goes into Taurus, joining there the party, the crowd in your 9th house. The sun is, of course, the vital force, the attention. So for the next month, sun will illuminate studies, university, changing of your life attitude, finding the meaning of life, we can say philosophically, communication with foreigners, travels abroad, court cases. By the way, 6th house also can mean some secret hidden enemies. Maybe now they show their faces up, right? But an eclipse in the 8th house, I think I can take it as winning a court case and getting your invested money back, for instance. But remember, with Pluto, always we have to be transparent and honest. Okay, then on the 21st, just the next day after the eclipse, look what an end of the month we will have, right? Very intense. So 21st of April, your ruler Mercury stations to go retrograde. Now you probably already noticed whenever Mercury is stationed, so from our perspective from Earth, as if the planet doesn't move, neither forward nor backwards, it lasts about a day, right? Then it moves, it changes direction basically. In this case, what we have that on the 21st, Mercury turns retrograde at 15th degree of Taurus, goes backwards till the 14th of May. On this day, the planet will stop again, stationing, this time to turn direct at 5 degrees Taurus. The whole so-called shadow of the retrograde period is from the 7th of April. You see, the beginning of the month still, the 7th of April, when Mercury enters or passes the 5th degree of Taurus, then reaching the 15th, turning back, reaching again the 5th, turning back, going again to the 15th, and this time on the 31st of May, already crossing the 15th degree of Taurus for the second time and moving forward. So this is the whole period of the shadow, 7th of April, 31st of May. I go back to the day 21st of April, just to warn you and all of us that it might be a bit more intense day. Mental intensity, nervousness, nervosity. We should be careful on the roads because Mercury conjuncts Uranus, the planet of surprises, the planet of explosions, the planet of anything weird, original. In the best case, really, you can have some very prominent insights, aha moments, some sudden news, realizations. Yeah, it comes from your, we could say that Uranus rules your 6th house, in a sense that it might be news about your health or work, Maybe you need to modernize your process of work, your office. Maybe there will be moving the office or new colleagues. In any case, you will have this time. My point is that because this day is 20th, the eclipse, remember my recommendation not to do anything, any sharp decisions and movements. Anything spontaneous, and Uranus is the planet of spontaneous, so be careful here, because the days are confused. 20th, 21st, 22nd, confusion, chaos, misunderstandings. Be careful with the emails, with technology around you, internet, Wi-Fi, and so on. Mostly on the roads, I would say. In the infrastructure, you will want to probably explode and say something and shock others, but hold it really, write it down. I don't want you to explode internally, but maybe writing down some therapeutical letters without sending them, just like release the tension through walks, through magnesium, taking magnesium supplements, exercises, obviously, as well, being in the nature, meditating, breathing practices. And then the period of retrograde, Mercury retrograde, basically in your 9th house, means that on one hand there might be some delays, so maybe delay of decision by the court, or time to gather more documents, or institutions being on holidays, or waiting for your lawyer to come back from somewhere, or waiting for embassy to give you visa or local residency. But at the same time, you can renew, so do something for the second time, or some repetitive process that you do now every now and then. You can review. So if you have the time, for instance, with the Mercury retrograde in your 9th house, you can spend more time checking the facts of your master thesis or your research for doctorate, if you want to become PhD. Maybe it's a second chance to go for an exam. Maybe you were postponing, life happens, challenges, duties, but now you're like, I want my degree. So it's my 3rd year already that I'm writing my thesis. It's time to present it to the professors, Maybe you are again invited to some conference. Once again, you will visit a country that you're already familiar with. Revisit maybe why you are afraid of flying or traveling or driving. Sort your documents, polish your language skills if you will be traveling abroad. So you get the idea, right? With Mercury retrograde, things might slow down. There might be misunderstandings, so you have to make sure you understand people clearly and they understand you more or less clearly. And also, it might be time, prosperous time and useful time to repair or redo something, repeat something, review something in your life. Wow, yeah, dear Virgos, this is how the month of April looks like for you. I wish it to be for you very interesting, positive, of course, with a lot of plenty of new insights and opportunities. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.